A motion by Helmut.
Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township, you know, all those government people that make regulations and laws that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you went and elected, and the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affected you, whether you went to that meeting or not. And that result could be very taxing.
It could. And you know, there's humor in every meeting. Did you ever notice that?
Yes, I have.
You have to dig a little bit sometimes to find it. We, interesting enough, do find it though, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay. We also, one of us spreads rumors.
Well, it's rhyming cousin.
The rumor?
Rumors and humors.
Rumor is St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner.
Why, yes, it is. The 17th.
All
Erin
right.
Go Bragh.
Yeah, all right. And we'll all celebrate. All you folks out there that are Irish and wish you were, we'll celebrate. Okay?
Everyone's Irish on the 17th.
Yeah, sure, and they will. Okay, we're going to talk about a number of meetings that came up. One is the Oxford Village Council meeting, which we're going to recap. That was actually held February 27th. We're going to talk about the Oxford Township Planning Commission meeting and the Village of Leonard Council meeting that they held last week, and also the Oxford Township Zoning Board of Appeals. So we're going to try to cram all these in here.
Wonderful.
Okay. Some of these meetings were rather short, so we should be able to run right through these. Well, if he'll help me do that.
Well, yeah, some of them are nothing more than a blink.
Yeah, a blinker. There's a blinker. Okay, let's talk about the Oxford Village Council. Of course, Sue Bassardit heads that Village Council. Eric Dolan serves on the board. Dave Bailey is on the board. Maureen Helmuth, who's been on the board for a number of years, and Joe Frost, who's the newest member of the Village Council.
And he used to head up the DDA.
He did. And he's still very knowledgeable, and he still serves some of his time with the DDA, volunteers it.
Well, he's got a deep experience with it.
He does, and does a great job out there, by the way, folks, with the Village Council as well. Let me see. Attorney Bob Davis was absent. Usually he's sitting in one of the chairs because they don't want to move unless they ask the legal opinion, usually. Village Manager Joe Madure was there, and of course the intern Drew Benson. Mm-hmm. And by the way, interesting enough, I think Drew Benson, for a young fella and his background, is doing a great job for the village as well.
Very good.
Yep. So they did the preliminaries, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. They approved the agenda with an amendment to it. And if folks want to see more about this, you can go to OCCTV.org, and you can usually find these meetings out there and see the detail. Although we provide the highlights, don't we?
The highlights.
The high road.
The high road, boy.
We do that. Okay. Public hearing also, there were none. Presentations, none. See how fast we're running through this one. Call to the public, non-agenda items. None. Okay.
And that was that.
Yeah, that was
well,
it.
maybe not.
Yeah, there was public there, but they just didn't choose to speak. You have that prerogative. Consent agenda, received and filed. Bills, now get this, get your check out. $358,223.87.
Wow.
A lot of bills.
In
What did you
one month?
do?
In 1 month?
1 month, yep.
Okay.
So they were approved. Apparently everyone had an opportunity to look at the expenses before the meeting, which I recall doing that too. They give you a documentation book like that you have to review if you're ready to be ready for these meetings.
In past years, they used to be pretty picky about them too.
Picky, that's a word. There's a stronger word for picky. I would probably select that one. Okay, new business was the next topic. Printer. They need a new copy machine. They had 3 bids out there. It's for a 5-year contract, and the bid that was approved was a low bid for $4,505, and it's from Primer Business Solutions that they approved.
Color copier?
It's color copier.
Okay.
Yep. The other one just didn't hold up, over a period of time, and parts kept falling off. So smoke kept coming out. And, had to buy a lot of fire extinguishers. Pete Schultz had to rush down there with his men, put out. Well, anyway, that would be a rumor, right?
It was good training.
It was good training. HVAC, replacement of the village hall, the facility, the administrative buildings. They replaced a 20-year-old heating system. As we speak, they're doing that. I was down at the village today.
This
They're
is
up on the roof.
this is in the used part of the building.
This is in the administrative side of the building
Okay.
that they're replacing it.
Okay.
They had 3 bids to replace it. Aladdin for $250, let me see, refund, because they serviced the furnace before and they charged $250. And if they got this bid, they would deduct that, from the overall cost, which is $5,400. So that was the choice that they decided to jump on, leap
When did they,
on,
when
wrestle
did they
to the
repair
core.
it last?
It was repaired, I believe, last winter when it failed. So
Okay.
anyway, so Joe Frost and Sue Basardet recommended a local business for this, and so it was. That's what came to pass. Don Brantley, owner of the Aladdin.
Don Brantley?
Yeah, his name's Don Brantley, or Bentley. Brantley.
Don Brantley runs DPW.
Yeah, he does. But he said that he knew the owner, and that's the point. He is the director of the DPW, and he said that he knew the owner of Aladdin, and he lives in Oxford, so he'd be a
Okay.
good choice. He
All right.
said he's used him before. Good professional.
Don's opinion is pretty good.
It is. Very good reputation Don has, and does a great job, by the way, for the DPW. The snowstorm we recently had, no snow on the streets.
No.
His guys took care of it. And he only has 5 people working for him. So those guys have to work around the clock.
Now, they just can't just plow it. They have to pick it up and put it somewhere.
They do, in your backyard. At least that's what I instructed them to do.
Well, they didn't. But our next door neighbor is not happy.
You don't have one big snowball in front of your yard? Okay, next door neighbor, huh? Okay, they got the wrong address then. Well, they don't make too many mistakes, so you apologize to your neighbor. And I'm sure he'll give you your snow back.
I'm not saying nothing.
Okay. Nothing. Okay. So that was approved. Then a motion was made to change the heating system. And I believe it's with the air conditioning system as well included. So opt out of state health insurance mandate was the next point that they wanted to do. Past option was to opt out. And so they wanted to continue.
What's the upshot of that?
Well, I think they're under a program right now, President Insurance Program, that has been doing a good job, for the workers of Oxford Village, and so they want to continue to do that, carry that program forward for them,
As opposed to
a new program that they might implement.
that will be implemented by the state?
Right? No, well, it's not by the state. It's called State Health Insurance Mandate.
Oh, that's a brand name.
Yeah, no, it's a mandate from the state that you have to, take a bid on this, and you have to decide on the insurance for your people, and they want to stick with the insurance that
So
they already
basically,
have.
it's just a decision to stick with the current
It
vendor.
is. Smart move, I think. Good experience with them. They want to stick with it. TAP grant application for M24 task force
Let's tap
was
TAP.
prompted. Yeah. It's TAP. Transportation, something or other. Take a note.
Taken.
And with that, we'll be back right after this, folks.
We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. There's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we left on the word tap. So what does tap mean? You
isn't-
tap dance your day
It
way out of
isn't
this one.
trepidation and prognostication. I don't know.
That would be close enough, folks. Take another note. Okay. Anyway, contract extension. Lori Fisher was asked for an extension as acting financial advisor, or whatever you want, clerk, operating position at this point, because they don't have a full-time clerk at this point. And she's been doing a good job. She actually works for Addison Township as an elected official over there she is the treasurer.
Right.
So she is filling in because in Oxford, dire need of somebody to work with the financials. And
So are they actively looking for a new treasurer?
they are looking actively for one. They've extended her contract for another 60 days.
Have they had
giving
any
them time.
interviews?
They have, and according I understand, they have interviewed a number of people for it. They have a number of apps for it. They're moving forward on it. So eventually they will have a clerk, and hopefully they'll find somebody with a combination ability to do financial as well as clerk.
So if you're looking for that job, there's an app for
Yep.
that.
Yep. All you got to be qualified is have 2 masters, 3 PhDs, and anyhow, well, go ahead and apply if you think you can handle it. Okay.
And a thick skin.
And a thick skin, yes. Can you say political position? Could be. Need 2 planning commissioners, by the way. They're short 2 planning commissioners, so if you folks are interested in volunteering for something, check with the village and fill out an application and get an interview, and you could be on the planning commission if you have the background. Good idea. That's how I got started way back when.
I thought they hauled you off the street.
Well, that was pretty much. But anyway, Oxford Township Planning Commission meetings. The next meeting we're going to talk about, Mike Young is the chair. Tom Berger serves on that board, as he has for a long time. Jack Curtis, who is also a trustee with the township. Ed Hunwick serves on the board. He is the president of Communications Commission, right?
Yep.
Kelly Rosner Myers serves on that board, and Mike Spiz, who's a county commissioner,
Right.
sits on that board as well, and John Nold, who is probably the latest newcomer to the board. And he's doing a great job out there, John is. So anyway, they went through the preliminaries, the pledge. They approved the agenda immediately. Minutes were approved for February 22nd, 2018, right away. And public comments, not on the agenda. Nobody. So nobody would respond. There were people in the audience, but nobody responded.
They're just checking their shoes.
Yeah, they were. Yep, and they were all shined, I guess. Commissioner comments. Jack Curtis. Now, what's interesting is they asked for the commissioner's comments up front here rather than on the end of the meeting, which most...
Usually at the end, they're going, ooh, I got something to say.
Yeah, I'd like to close the meeting.
Oh,
Make a motion. No, that's usually what happens. No. Jack Curtis said that the culvert collapse, he wanted to cover that on Wood Trail. Now, we've covered that on the news here.
Well, that was the big sinkhole.
A big sinkhole. And the latest I learned from the meeting...
Was that the culvert that actually collapsed, or was it a portion of the road that was due to the culvert being blocked?
The culvert actually collapsed.
Oh.
And it left a great big hole. Can you say Grand Canyon?
Looked like a swimming pool to me.
Yeah, and the county ran all their pumps and lines and everything over the Pollyant Trail, which also damaged the Pollyant Trail to some degree, but it's indicated that the county will repair anything that, you know, they caused to damage. So
Was
that's
that a
good
paved
thing.
section of the Pollyant Trail?
No, it's not paved. I don't believe it's paved.
Okay.
But I think it's a crushed limestone type.
Okay.
And that would be strictly a rumor that this guy would start normally, okay?
Not moi.
Yeah, right. But at the meeting I was at last night, at the township meeting, they pointed out that everything is go ahead, but it's not going to be completed till about mid-May, folks. So you want to find an alternate route if you already haven't found one.
So don't go rushing down that
in the
road.
area. No, it's closed off and will be until May, which time it should be completed at that time. Also, you wanted to mention that the Tough Mudders, again, are coming, you know, for the summer. So watch out for advertising.
You have a date on that?
There is a date on it. I didn't get that date.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of opportunity to present that date in the future.
I see.
We will do that. Okay?
Well, they really like the Oxford gravel pits, and they said they're coming back
Yep.
again.
Yeah, it's the pits. But anyway, public hearing. They had a public hearing to remove, receive public comments. And the proposal is the correction to the official zoning map. What's interesting is the zoning map was incorrect. There's an area of property that there's 2.72 acres and also a 0.91 acres, which was mistakenly put in as zoned suburban farms, and it was supposed to be R1, which is residential single family.
Oh.
And they meant to do that, but whoever made up the chart, I believe in the early 2000s, 1990, something or other, they made a mistake, and it wasn't caught until just recently. So the move was for the village, or for the township, to request that this property be rezoned to R1, according to the master plan.
Well,
Makes sense.
That sounds reasonable.
Yep. So they reviewed that, talked it over. It's on the east side of Baldwin Road between Shipment and West Oakland.
Is that
or
something the
Oakwood.
township can do by itself, or do they have to get approval through Oakland County?
That's something that they can do with the township only.
Okay.
Yep, that affects the township. Actually, they'll be getting a copy. Oxford,
Actually, that would affect the tax rate, wouldn't it?
Oakland County will be getting a copy of this as well.
Yeah.
There's no question. And it was approved, so it's going to go forward. Applicant, let me see, was pretty much not a problem because it was settled instantaneously almost. Presentation, purpose to correct the error, that was pretty much it. We talked about, Tom Berger said that he did not believe that lots should be non-conforming, and that was the premise for why he supported the effort to change this. Good point, Mr. Berger. Unfinished business. Matt, the consultant, said that he's gone over the master plan, and there's revisions he's made to the plan, and has presented it to the Planning Commission. That particular plan, by the way, will be offered to the township. I believe the meeting is a special meeting on the 22nd of this month, March.
Is that all part of that 5-year cycle of presenting a new master plan?
How did you know?
A little bird.
You did. Okay. Yeah, that's all part of it. So
Okay.
anyway, so anything that needed to be changed, it would be changed then. The township officials will look it over, as far as trustees and your representatives with the township. So on the 22nd of March. Questions. There came a question about farm equalization values and how they were calculated. And Kelly Rossner felt that,
What is that?
well, she felt that there were some injustices in the fact that it seems like what they call the horse country or farm country was, and some of their properties were higher calculated than what independent residential
But
properties
what
were.
is farm equalization?
Well, it's the same formula, as it was pointed out, that they use for the whole township. So there shouldn't be any differentiation into it, and she actually ended up in a discussion with Jack Curtis on this, so Jack was adamant about the fact that there should not be any change in it. She persisted that there was. He said, no, there's not. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. Okay, so anyway,
Which
that
led
was
to a
settled.
very long set of minutes.
It did. And with that, we're going on to the next minutes when we come back, right after this, folks. Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And now we're going to talk about the Village of Leonard Council meeting. Mike McDonald being the president, Shar Sotheby serves on the board as vice president, Paul Almiranti serves on the board, Linda Hoffman, and Alex Kennedy. Kennedy guy, okay? Clerk Cindy Ruskoff was there that evening, and Treasurer Judy Verse also. And the meeting was held on March 12th of this year, of course. Pledge of Allegiance prayer at this particular meeting offered by Shar Sotheby. Minutes for February 12th, 2018 were immediately approved. The agenda, she wanted to add a item, Mike McDonald did, for local county road improvement program. The program that the county offers is a 50-50 program. They're offering $2,500 for road improvements. And of course, Elmwood, they're going to be working on it, this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Mike McDonald, that would be a good place to use this money if they approve it. And I'm jumping ahead here, but they did approve it. Makes sense.
Okay.
$2,500. Okay. So they'll have to 50-50. They'll have to put $2,500.
No, we don't
into
want
it as
free
well.
money.
We don't want free money. No, we'll help pay for the free money. Okay. Let me see. What else? Oh, Treasurer's report was received and filed. There were budget adjustments made, and you folks can gain all the details of the budget adjustments, you people out in Leonard, by going to our OCCTV.org website and checking on.
Click on programs.
You got it.
Click on Village of Leonard.
And yep, and find the meeting, and you can get the details on that and how monies were moved around. Ended up that their balanced budget was $217,319.68. So I mentioned that balanced budget. Good job over there. Bills were turned in for general account. Remember, there's several accounts here. We talked about this before. First, in the general account was $14,046. Major account, $1,817.11. And local, $358.88. And of course, there's a mill and Parks and Rec account also, which no monies have been taken out of there. So all this was approved. And I'd like to point out too that the mill program that they're working on over there to repair the old mill, they're still looking for volunteers in terms of offerings of funding and that kind of thing. So
Do they have a target date on when it's going to be operational?
I don't think we can live long enough. Well, depends on how quickly you folks can provide funding, to get this project completed.
It'll be a
It's
pleasant place to stop when you're on the Pollyant Trail.
It's a very neat project that they're into, no question about it. So if you folks got a few dollars you want to shake loose, I like the Scotsman next to me, but that you want to offer to Leonard, I'm sure that they'll be appreciative. Okay, County Road Commission, we did talk about that, and so that's going to be taken care of for the Elmwood Street. Unfinished business. Elmwood they're not doing anything with it, of course, because of the weather. They got to wait for the weather to clear before you'll see some work activity over there in Elmwood, on Elmwood Street, right? Okay. DPW, they need a smaller bucket, one of those, for the front loader.
Oh.
The big one, they get in situations where they need to have a smaller bucket in order to get the debris or whatever, sand
And they're
stuff they're trying
constructed
to
such that they can switch them
Yep.
back and forth.
So that's for their rep over there. His name is Don also, which is interesting. I don't know what his last name is, but anyway, he's doing a good job for Leonard. Need a tractor also for mowing for the DPW. They've had several given to them in the past, only to be used in the scrap yard eventually, or rather shortly. So they're looking at the possibility of purchasing one that can last a little bit longer. And I'm sure this
Either that or they have to order more duct tape.
right. And I think this Don guy will maintain it, if it's a new unit. I think he tried to make it work on the old ones, but when they failed, he ended up using his own tractor, his own lawnmower. President's report, Christmas in April, Christmas in Action. It's a group that they use over there that they donate. There's going to be a work session on April 28th. For more information, contact their offices over there. And let me see. Oh, they're going to do a siren test. It's going to kick you out of
what?
bed. Siren test. Siren, like alarm, for tornadoes, weather warnings, those kind of thing. And it's going to commence on April 12th at 1 p.m.
It's all part of a county series of tests,
It
isn't
is. So you folks will hear it go off at about 1 p.m. on April 12th, I believe it is.
So it's only a test. Don't duck and cover.
Yeah, no, don't run. Don't dig a hole in the backyard so you can hide. Okay, status of, let me see, the private village roads. Oh, okay. There are private roads out there that people are crying that they don't get any assistance to grade, in the wintertime, that kind of thing. And so they're trying to find a solution for that. It's been left with the attorney to find out there's a
Are they
option
public
open.
roads or private roads?
They're private, so therefore the village isn't responsible for those roads. Unfortunately,
Don't they
people
have to
don't get
create
out
a-
of there
well-
until spring.
Well, don't they have to create a special assessment district to really take care of that?
SAD is a good approach to this, and they're looking at that as a possibility. However, I think because of their charter, the village, they may not be able to use an SAD. And there are certain restrictions regarding that, depending on how you're incorporated and chartered. So that's why the attorney is involved to see if there
That
are some
fine
options.
print gets you every time.
They do, yeah, the itty bitty print at the bottom or on the edge of the page. They'll get you every time. Okay, new business. Shar said that she requested a newsletter would be appropriate to send out to everybody concerning the Pollyant Trail, for example, and what's going on there. Historical facts about the village and, you know, places like bed and breakfasts that are available, you know, in Leonard. Okay, we're going to talk now, unless there's something you have to say. No? Silence. Okay. Oxford Township ZBA. Bailey was absent. Butler is the chairperson or chairman. Margaret Payne serves on the board, and Kelly Rossner Myers, as well as Walters. This was the March 12th meeting. They did the pledge, all the preliminaries. Minutes for February 12th, 2018 were approved. Public comments? None. Okay. ZBA.
Seems to be a catching thing.
It is catching, yes. A ZBA agenda item, AC Construction Services Incorporated at 1017 North Davison Lake Road, Oxford, Michigan, requested by Lynn Cole at 1584 Oneida Trail, Lake Orion. Subject was R1 single family, which requires 12,000 square feet minimum zoning. Located at 716 Maloney Street. They wanted a variance for a garage to put in. That's because the setback requires 10 feet, and they require a shorter setback than that. So they're requesting a garage the size of 26 by 20 and with a pitch of 412 for the roof, so it wouldn't run off water to the neighbor. Carlisle Wortman, who's a consultant, said that they were requesting 4.3 feet variance setback, and that would make it roughly 7 feet instead of 10 feet from where it's at right now. So with that, it was reviewed, discussed, and all the elements were dissected, ripped apart, and they decided to go ahead and approve it. So it was
Okay.
approved. What's coming up?
Not much.
Not much.
On 3/26, our parent organization is meeting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Oxford area cable Bueller cable communications
Hey,
meeting.
stop being so pushy.
And on 3/27 at 6:30, the Village of Oxford Council is meeting. And on 4/2 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford ZBA. But check on that because sometimes they don't meet.
I just wanted to see what you'd do if, you know, pulling the string, nothing happened.
Nothing did.
It did not. Okay, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And you're not Bueller.
No.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time on Minutes by Minute, right here.
See you then.